Pam with 365 Staging, your complete home selling solution. Welcome to our show today. We have the pleasure of introducing Sean Pan from Everything REI. Welcome, Sean.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so we're excited to learn more about your business. So can you tell the audience a little bit about what you do and how you can help them out?
Sure. Hey, everyone. My name is Sean Pan. I'm a real estate investor here based in the Bay Area. I'm also a podcast host where I interview local real estate investors and professionals to learn more about the business and share that knowledge with the world. And I'm also a hard money lender with Conventus Lending.
Wonderful. So, Sean, before we get started into all this, can you tell the audience about your background and how you got started in hard money loans and all the other services that you offer?
Sure. So I started as an electrical engineer working on satellites for the government. And actually, after a while, I realized that I had a passion for real estate investing. So I started flipping homes here in the Bay Area. I left my full-time job and started my investing career. I started my podcast. And by having that base of real estate investors, I figured, what's a better way to give them value?
Yeah.
And what's a better value than giving them financing for their deals? And that's why I partnered with my friend to work as a hard money lender with Conventus Lending.
Oh, wonderful. So we work with a lot of real estate investors. Can you tell them about, how does a hard money loan work?
Yeah, so basically a hard money loan differs from a traditional loan because we're basing the value on the asset itself versus on your own personal income. So if you're doing a traditional loan, typically there's something called a debt to income ratio that you have to satisfy. And that means that if you're making a certain salary, you can only afford a certain amount for your loan. Whereas, if you don't have a salary or if you're not making that much money, then you can't just buy these $1 million properties here in the Bay Area, much less, 2 or 3, 4 projects at the same time. But with hard money, we don't care about that. We care more about if there's value in the asset itself, and that's why we need a loan based on the asset.
Okay, so who are your typical clients for hard money loans?
Yeah, they're definitely investors. So typically they're going to be flippers, or they're going to be someone who is purchasing like a multifamily property who needs a loan temporarily for them to buy the property, do whatever renovations they need to, and then they will refinance out into a more long-term solution.
Okay, so it's not for your typical homeowner, correct?
Correct, yeah. We don't give out hard money loans for owner-occupied properties unless the property is a 3-plex or higher. So 3-plex, 4-plex, or a commercial property.
Okay, so tell me about the commercial properties that you normally give these type of loans out for. Can you kind of explain how that works too?
Yeah, so commercial properties are like a multifamily property that's over 4 units, so 5 units and above. We can loan on those properties. We can also loan on let's say a commercial strip, something like that. Basically, again, it's an investment property. You're buying it for business purposes. And typically it differs a little bit because now it's a little bit of a riskier asset, so we require more down payment for it.
Okay.
But other than that, it's based on the asset itself, not based on your personal income.
Okay, so an investor was looking to purchase a property and flip it. What steps do they need to take when they approach you about getting a hard money loan?
Sure. So hard money loans, again, are based on the asset itself. So it's not like a traditional lender where you call us ahead of advance, or you call us ahead of time and you ask for a pre-approval letter. You actually have to, kind of scope out the individual property that you're looking at. So we need the property address. We need to know what you're going to purchase it for, or approximate. What's the approximate repairs that's going to take, as well as what do you think it's going to sell for after you're done. So all those numbers, factor into what we can actually give you as a loan package.
I see.
Yeah.
So how much time elapsed since they asked for the hard money loan and when they have to pay it back?
Okay, so typically our loan terms are 12 months. They're relatively short-term loans, and they're usually interest-only loans, so you're not paying principal with it.
Okay.
And after 12 months, you can extend it. You pay a fee to extend it for 3 months, or you can do like a refinance, just get another hard money loan on the same property.
Okay. What is the typical interest rate for a hard money loan at this time?
Yeah, so hard money loans are definitely more expensive than traditional loans because they are a riskier thing. So right now we're seeing around 9% if you're going to get very high leveraged loan. So like 90% loan, we're only putting 10% down. 9% and then 1% for the origination fee. So to do the loan, you're going to pay a point just to get it done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you work with a lot of real estate investors and have some really wonderful meetup groups that you arrange, I think, on a monthly basis. Can you tell the audience a little bit about your events?
Sure. So I host meetup events in San Jose multiple times a month. Like on the second Tuesday of every month, there is a meeting very close to where we are right now, actually at 11:50. It's a pure networking event. It's free. Just come through and talk to real estate investors. And the last Tuesday of the month, I host a presentation style event where I have a guest speaker come up and talk about a certain topic. This one is in downtown San Jose on 2nd Street.
Oh, great, great. So it sounds like a really great event where you can meet other investors, learn how they do business, maybe get some tips, and of course have some expert speakers, right?
Absolutely. And I think the benefit of going to events is that you get to talk to people who normally you would never meet. Like if you try to communicate with them online, they might think you're a scammer or spam or whatever. But when you meet with them in person, they're going to give you the time and they'll tell you like their tips and tricks. You might have some miscellaneous questions that you will never find on a podcast or in a book, but you can hear them gripe about all their problems in real life, so you'll learn about these things.
Right. So do you target people that are just thinking about going into this line of business or more experienced people? Who are your typical audience members for that?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's welcome, obviously, and it's a mix of both because we do have a lot of new investors who are very interested in doing the same thing I did, quit their job to do real estate full time. But they're not really sure what they want to do. Like, do they want to buy properties for buy and hold? Do they want to flip, or do they want to do multifamily? They're kind of lost. They're trying to find guidance. And on the other hand, we have people who want to give back to the community. So they're experts. They have millions and millions of dollars, and they just want to show up and talk.
Well, that's really wonderful. Okay, so you also have some very helpful podcasts. Can you tell the audience about the podcasts?
Sure. So I host a real estate investing podcast. I host it twice a week. You can find the podcast on Apple iTunes, or you can find it on Spotify. The show is called the Everything Real Estate Investing Show with Sean Pan. And we basically try to find as many Bay Area professionals and investors because the investing strategies are so much different in the Bay Area compared to, let's say, someone in the Midwest. Like if you go on these big shows like biggerpockets.com, which is a great resource, they're mostly talking about the BRRRR strategy, buy and hold in the Midwest, where you can buy properties for $30,000, renovate for $15,000, cash out all of your money and then some, like $60,000 loan, and then do it again. That's not realistic here in the Bay Area, where our like lowest price, like $1 million for a crappy home.
Yeah.
So we need to find different strategies. What works? I mean, there are people who are making millions of dollars a year, and on the podcast, I'm very fortunate to be able to extract that information and then share it with everyone else. That's
great. So, do you have some tips on how to just get started, like educating yourself if you're thinking about getting into this field? How do you get started, like with maybe books you read, podcasts, maybe shadowing somebody? How do you get started in this business?
That's a great question. Honestly, as far as books, I think books aren't that great because you can read it, you're basically like by yourself. You need to like hear the words that are being said. You need to know these terms, like ROI. You need to know like Airbnbs, like there's all of these different terms that you won't know unless you're an actual expert and you're actually in the field talking about stuff.
Right.
Like you said, some people don't even know what staging is, right?
Yes.
So I would say listen to podcasts. My show's great.
That's right.
But I think more importantly, go to meetup groups. Find your local meetups that talk about real estate investing, and then just show up consistently.
Yeah.
Because eventually they'll like see your face over and over again, and then you'll just get more opportunities.
Yeah.
So go to meetup.com and check out different meetups. If you want to look at my meetup, it's meetup.com/everythingrei.
So can you tell everybody how to reach you, phone number, and you mentioned your website. Any other things you want to share with the audience, like how to get into the meetup groups?
Sure. So yeah, like I said, if you want to join the meetup group, go to meetup.com/everythingrei. You can also just go on meetup.com and look up real estate investing groups, and you're going to see a plethora of different groups. If you want to find out more information on me, you can check out my website, everythingrei.com. My phone number is 408-393-8448. And you can email me at sean@everythingrei.com. That's SEAN@everythingrei.com.
Okay, great. And in case you didn't catch that, we'll have that at the bottom of the email or the website. So thank you so much, Sean. And I hope everybody learned a lot today.